aging population on the rise, the pursuit of healthy aging becomes important. How can we collaborate to enhance the aging experience? And what role does technology play in this journey? Today, we have the pleasure of talking about these questions with Dr. Alex Mihailidis, the Scientific Director of Age Well Network. Welcome to our show today. It's nice to have you here.
Great. Thank you very much, Angela, for having me. It's my great pleasure.
Yeah. So as the aging population continues to grow, what are the challenges we face?
I think the primary challenge is how do we provide the proper care that our older population needs? And that is anything from their physical health to their mental health. And one of the biggest challenges, how do we allow them to continue to remain in their own homes and communities for as long as they want?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how is the technology play in this process?
So there's a lot of work happening right across Canada right now in terms of developing things such as smart home systems, looking at the role of artificial intelligence and sensors that can all collect information and help their caregivers and the older adults themselves to make the right decisions with respect to their own health and wellness. Furthermore, technology is also being used to help predict changes in people that are living in their own homes so that we can put the right interventions in place sooner and quicker before an issue becomes a larger problem.
Okay. So what is Age Well Network doing to help developing technologies and the services for healthy aging?
Yeah, the Age Well Network, we're coast to coast to coast, so we're right across Canada in all aspects. And Age Well really provides the support and the backbone for all the researchers, the companies, the students, the older adults, and the caregivers themselves to work all together towards identifying what solutions are needed, developing these solutions, and then actually trying to get these technological advances out there in the marketplace and in the hands of the people that actually need them.
Okay, great. So could you elaborate? So what are the sectors involved in this network?
Yeah, there's a lot of different sectors and disciplines involved. At the last count, I think it was over 40 different disciplines and sectors are involved in this area. And that includes academic institutions. So there's about 45 universities and research institutes involved. There's over 400 partners. These are from industry, these are startup companies, government agencies, not-for-profits. And then obviously the biggest factor are the older adults and the caregivers themselves. So we've had over 5,000 individuals involved in this research. And again, collectively, this entire group of over 1,000 people and companies and organizations are all working together to develop anything, again, from apps that people can use to smart home systems, and even a lot of research now on the role that robots will play in the homes of older people.
Mm-hmm, that sounds interesting. So you have regular meetings, education events, right? Can you tell us about that?
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. That's a key aspect of the network, is educating the community, educating the population, whether you're an older adult or a caregiver or not, about what types of technologies are out there, what can be available, what kind of solutions can help you, and then how do you actually get these technologies in your own hands and into your homes. Beyond that, we're also educating the future leaders in this area. So we have a very large training program for students that are across all of our universities and also internationally, that are training the next generation of researchers, entrepreneurs, corporate leaders, politicians, policymakers, et cetera. You name it, we kind of have these individuals involved, and we're helping them to understand how they can help to really clear the way for these technologies to get out there.
Wow, sounds very informative.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So you have a conference come up in October, right? Could you tell us about that?
Yes, we have coming up in October, from October 23rd to the 27th, we have Age Tech Innovation Week. Mm-hmm. And that can just be found easily, agetechinnovationweek.com. And this is going to be a week-long conference where you're going to see presentations from our researchers, our students, companies, policymakers, all coming together in Toronto to talk about the state of the art of technology for older adults and really to understand where do we need to be going. And we have some really great keynotes and speakers lined up. They'll talk about, again, the use of robots, artificial intelligence, but even more in-depth conversations around, for example, how technology may impact ageism in our society and how we can overcome that as we move forward.
Okay, so you also have seniors and the caregivers involved as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. They're one of the most critical pieces of this network, and every project that we support must have older adults and caregivers involved as equal partners and just not afterthoughts. And so that's a really important aspect of all the work that we support.
Okay, so it sounds very integrated very well from different sectors, right?
Absolutely. And that's really one of the big things that AgeWell has done really, really well, has been bringing together these sectors, even companies and sectors that really had nothing to do with older adults to begin with. We made them think about it and how that's going to impact them as future customers, employees, et cetera. And they're also getting involved. So it's become a wonderful community that we've developed here in Canada.
So how many years have you run this group, like this conference?
So we've been in an organization since 2015. We've been running the conference every year, and we always pick a different location in Canada. This year will be our biggest conference yet, and the expansion into this whole Age Tech Innovation Week is going to be brand new this year, and for the first time in person in Toronto. So it's going to prove to be a very, very exciting event.
Yes, I registered as well. I'm looking forward to attending this event. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Hopefully more people will involve to this event and to some other events you organize. Yeah. Yeah,
absolutely. And the one thing I want to say is, we really want older adults and caregivers to be at the conference to learn about what's happening. There's very special rates that they can register at. And again, so I encourage people to go to agetechinnovationweek.com, get the information, and join us in Toronto in October.
So it sounds very welcome event.
Oh, absolutely. It's very open. We have a lot of fun activities, fun events where people can actually see technologies being demonstrated. So it's not just your typical research conference where you sit there and just listen to people present on things. It's a wide range of activities, events, demonstrations, opportunities to meet people, but also opportunities for older adults and caregivers to actually get involved in the network and the work that's happening in the future.
Okay, great. Thank you. We're going to have a break now.
Wonderful. Thank you.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Personal finance show that dares to ask those money questions you've always wanted to. Join Mike Braga when he talks with experts on all aspects of money. Money Matters with Mike Braga, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Rogers TV.
I am Gagwege. My name means everything.
Tom Longboats.
I am Wolf Clan, Onondaga Nation. I've run many different races. I've run to survive and to be free. I've run to win for honor.
His people might be lazy, but this one's damn fast.
My people respected our runners, people who carried important messages from village to village.
I need a guide to the next post. Dispatch carrier, sir. I can get you there.
God's sakes, man, slow down. Who do you think I am, Tom Longboat?
No, sir. I am.
Running makes me feel alive. It's everything.
Tom Longboat was the first Indigenous person to win the Boston Marathon. He ran his way to international fame and became an inspiration to generations of athletes.
So could you tell me what AgeWell organization stands on? So is it so internationally and nationally? Can you tell me more about it? Yeah.
Yeah, so AgeWell truly is Canada's technology and aging network. As I mentioned before, we are coast to coast to coast. We have sites and researchers, in every single province and territory as well. So we are truly national. Internationally, we're also growing as well. We have partners right now in the UK. We're discussing partnerships in places like Israel and in other aspects of Southeast Asia as well. So AgeWell truly is becoming an international network, and that's important because for a long time Canada has lagged behind the rest of the world when it comes to this area and looking at how to care for our seniors. And because of the work that AgeWell is doing with all of our partners, Canada now is seen as a leader worldwide.
Wow. It makes big impact, not only in Canada, but in the whole internationally, right? In the whole world, right? So
absolutely. Yeah. This is, caring for our aging population is not a Canada problem. It's an international, it's a global challenge. And so in order to address a global challenge, we need to be global and international ourselves. And that's really what we're doing right now.
Wow, very impressive. So what is the future plan for AgeWell Network?
So AgeWell, so AgeWell is going to continue to work on developing solutions. We over the past 10 years, we have developed a lot of great solutions in our academic partners in the research labs, and so we are now looking at moving those solutions out. We're supporting startup companies, we're supporting entrepreneurship, and we're doing a lot more policy work. So working with the federal governments, our provincial governments, our territorial governments around policy related to how technology can be used to support seniors across our entire country.
Wow. It sounds you have a lot of work to do.
Oh, absolutely.
How do you enjoy your position, a leadership role in this organization?
Oh, no, I love it. I've been doing research in the area of technology and aging for 25 years myself. And, it's a great honor for me to be able to lead an organization like AgeWell. It's an even greater honor for me to work with all the people in the network and all the partners and, whether they're companies to students themselves. It's just a wonderful thing to see and to see an organization like AgeWell to bring Canada to the forefront in the area of technology and aging.
You must be proud of yourself, your team, making a difference in people's life.
Oh, absolutely. And then, the team that runs AgeWell, they are a group of extraordinary people who work tirelessly, as you can imagine. And, the older adults and caregivers that dedicate their time to supporting our network are also just phenomenal. And, there's nothing I can say to thank them enough.
So I'm just wondering personally, what are you doing to ensure that you age well?
That's a great question. Sometimes I don't follow the advice that our network gives, but obviously, working with these individuals and learning about these solutions and starting to use some of these technologies myself. And I become a caregiver of my parents and using technology with them as well. But, I think the main thing that helps me to age well is one, seeing an impact of the work that we do, and two, working with the students. They're always full of energy and great ideas. And, it sounds cliche, but these students help to keep me young. Even though I may not look like it, but, inside I feel younger.
So you have a very supportive system in place.
Absolutely.
That probably is the advantage that you are doing what you are doing, right?
Yes. You need great people around you to be able to achieve great things, and AgeWell definitely has that.
So for our audience, what would you tell us, our audience, what's your key message to them?
I think the key message is, technology is out there and more is coming. However, it's not the silver bullet. It's not going to solve all the problems we have in terms of caring for our aging population, but it is one solution among many that need to be all used in conjunction in order to come up with the best solution for the individual. And the final message is what may work for one person may not work for the other. And so we really need to understand the needs of our older adults and their caregivers, and then implement the solutions accordingly.
So it's individualized, right? It's personalized.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So basically technology can help us, but it's still human to human. It's still very, human touch still.
Yeah. You can never replace that human to human contact. And the goal of a lot of this technology is to allow for more of that human to human contact, but not in a caregiver way. But in ways that people can enjoy, so instead of having to worry about the caregiving tasks, leave that to the technology and instead go and sit down and just have a chat with the person you're providing care to, or go out and do some kind of fun activity. And that's really the goal of technology, is to take care of those activities that we don't want to do and that may be difficult for us to do or embarrassing for us to do. That's where technology can play the largest role, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. So technology helps us, but it can never replace human touch, right?
Absolutely.
So would you tell us more about Age Well Network? What inspired you every day doing what you are doing? Like, tell us more about it.
Yeah, my inspiration comes from various sources. And my initial inspiration 25 years ago was a gentleman that I met who's an engineer like I am, and his wife had dementia, and he told me about all the difficulties he had taking care of her and how hopefully technology can play a role. My ongoing inspiration obviously is me being a caregiver now to my parents who are in their 80s and looking at how technology can help me as a caregiver. And my final inspiration is, I'm also living with a disability myself. I have an incomplete spinal cord injury, and so I'm aging with a disability. And so obviously, what do I want for my future self as well? And so it's a combination of all these personal stories and other things that you hear that really continue to inspire me to work in this area.
Wow. Yeah, now I got it. It's so different when you're from a personal touch, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's completely personal. Yeah.
We can have more about Age Well Network. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Get a little messy while having a whole lot of fun. Mindful Makers explores the world around you and inspires you to think outside the box. Join Agnes and her friends as they share crafty projects and talk to local artists. Mindful Makers, Mondays at 6 p.m. on Rogers TV. Get your tickets for It's All About the Kids concert happening on October 28th at 2 p.m. at the Mennonite Brethren Church in Waterloo. The Waterloo Regional Police Chorus will once again share the stage with Scottish-Canadian tenor John McDermott. This concert is in support of the Waterloo Knights of Columbus annual toy drive. For tickets, visit eventbrite.ca/It's All About the Kids. Call the Waterloo Knights of Columbus at 519-884-2060 or email chorus member Bob Brown at rbrt_brown@rogers.com. Rogers TV is a proud sponsor of this upcoming concert.
Hi, Alex. Your story was very inspiring. Could you share us more stories to us, like the stories from your network? Yeah.
Yeah, I hear stories from our network all the time in terms of experiences that people have. For example, we have an individual, a gentleman who has dementia himself, and he is he is an active part of our network, and you know, he sits on committees with us that helps to determine which projects to fund, and the insights you gain just from the personal stories that he shares about, you know, getting lost while going for a walk in the neighborhood, or you know, getting lost in the airport while traveling, and how technology can play a role there. You know, these stories that we continue to inspire us. You know, the stories that I hear from our students who come into this area because they have a personal experience of being a caregiver for maybe their parent or someone else in their family, and how they see the difficulties and the challenges that these individuals that they provide care to have, and this is why they're inspired to get into this area and to help, you know, develop these technologies or get these technologies out there. And you know, and then as I shared, you know, my own personal story of becoming a caregiver for my parents, and you know, in fact, I have technologies in their house that have been developed in the AgeWell network and by people in the AgeWell network, and in order to help me to, you know, provide care to them, but also obviously, you know, provide care to my young children and to be able to come to work and to run the network, right? So, you know, everyone who comes to me, whether a student, a company, or you know, another researcher, all have this kind of personal connection to this area and to helping to serve and to provide the best care possible to older people. And so, you know, it's this personal connection really that keeps us moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. So what kind of call of action do you want, like how people find more information about AgeWell Network? What's the call of action for us?
Yeah, so the call to action is to support this and to support the work that we're doing, to educate yourselves around the role that technology can play in your lives. And really to, you know, become active in the AgeWell network. So you can go to the AgeWell website. You know, you can just Google AgeWell and you'll find us. There's a button there to join the community, to become involved, come to our conference, meet the researchers, meet the students, tell your stories to the students, because they're always looking for new individuals to work with and to inspire them. And really just become active in this area and become active in your own care and in your own wellness.
Yeah, I totally agree. So my dad passed away 2 years ago because of dementia. So I thought if I knew AgeWell earlier, I would have more knowledgeable, and I'll be, you know, I know more things available for him, so I can, you know, he can have a better life and longer life. So I encourage everyone participate in AgeWell network. That will make our future better, right? With either for our family and for ourselves, because everybody is going to get old, right? We're all aging. We want to be healthy, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. So.
So you have website and you have conference. So if people want to get to know you more, and just check the website and attend the education event, right?
Absolutely. I really look forward to seeing as many of your viewers as possible at our upcoming conference and the Innovation Week.
So those kind of education event, it's not only in person, but also many are online, right?
There will be some online sessions, but the majority of them will be in person. We're trying to bring people together. You know, that's the best way to share ideas and to share stories and really to share experiences that will be inspiring for our network.
So usually, how do you get people to know your place and your events?
A lot of it is through things like this, you know, just, you know, coming on and talking about what AgeWell does, talking about the role of technology. You know, I give a lot of presentations, not academic ones, even though I am a professor, but, you know, the best presentations I give are in front of groups of older adults or caregivers or other care professionals to really just talk about how technology can play such a big role in this area.
So if anyone interested in your getting to know your information more, and they can contact you and invite you for presentations, right?
Yep, absolutely. They can just go to the AgeWell website and reach out to us, and people in the office will take care of your request.
So what else would you like to cover today, Alex?
No, I think, we've covered quite a bit, and really just to reiterate the message that, technology is here. This is not science fiction. This is not something that's going to happen 10 years down the road. Technologies are currently available that seniors can go and seek out, or caregivers or families can go and buy, at your local stores and install in your homes. And the AgeWell network and the people behind it are here to support this, population as much as we can moving forward.
So so what are a few examples of technologies you're excited about? Because for some people, maybe the seniors, they're more conservative to the new technologies. So what's the exciting technologies, and how do you make it more accessible or more approachable to them?
Yeah, so there's some really exciting things that are happening in smart home systems, for example, the use of sensors in the environment that can collect information about the individual, use things like artificial intelligence to understand what's happening with that person, predict changes in their health. So for example, it can predict, maybe changes if a person has congestive heart failure, or it can predict changes in the person's cognition. And this then allows us to put interventions in place. I'm really excited at the prospect of robots. Robots have come down in price, from, hundreds of thousands of dollars to tens of thousands to thousands, and some are now hundreds of dollars only. So, as we continue to build this field, as we continue to bring more partners and more companies involved, as we continue to develop more technologies, the prices of these things will come down and become far more accessible to individuals as we continue to grow the field.
Oh, that sounds very exciting. So it's not only accessible but affordable, right?
Yeah, that's the goal. We want to make everything accessible by everyone, and big part of that is working with the government to make sure that there are incentives in place and tax benefits and programs that can help to support the accessibility of these technologies. So that's another call to action for everyone. Reach out to your local government representation and talk to them about how technology can play a meaningful role in all your lives as well.
Well, in closing, thank you, Dr. Mihailidis, for gracing our show today. And to you, our audience, for embracing the journey of aging and remaining forever young. Thank you.
Thank you, Angela.
See you.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
Our world is changing.
Now more than ever, we have seen firsthand the brutality of systematic racism.
Here in Canada, we can do better.
It is time to connect, commit, and change.
I'm Queen.
And I'm Aliyah Ali, and we're inviting you to join us on Diverse and Converse.
We'll connect you with leaders from the Black, Indigenous, and people of color communities.
Now is the time for change.
After a night out with your friends, there's always options for getting home safely. You could call your BFF, your mom or dad, whoever you can count on for a safe ride home. You could call your favorite cab company.